Welcome to Bloom State Radio. This is episode number 2, and I'm joined today by the majestic, beautiful, blonde bombshell that is Sian Coleman. Hey girl!
Hey girl.
Welcome,
welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Yay, I'm
This is so fun.
I know. And as I mentioned to Sian off recording, that the nature of these podcasts is to flow as deep and as dark and as wild and as wonderful as we wish. So yeah, be expected to receive some nuggets of wisdom, some insight, and some beautiful learnings, I guess, because one thing that I know about this beautiful woman who sits beside me is that she is such an inspiration, and you have been such an inspiration for me, girl. You have. I think we've known each other for like 10, 12 years, a little while now.
Yeah,
we were
definitely.
like the OG Yogini girls, weren't we?
Oh my gosh, we were.
And
Wow,
the OG Yogini
that's
girls, OG vegan veggie girls as well.
Yep.
Before it was mainstream. Now I'm a fully fledged meat eater again.
Yay! Welcome back.
I had steak for the first time a few
Life is
months
so
ago.
much better. Yeah.
Oh my god, so good.
Yeah.
How long were you vegan for?
I wasn't vegan for very long, maybe like a year. But I was veggie for 10 years.
Okay,
and it was
right.
within that time span that I had like a year of veganism.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so happy those days are behind me. I feel so much better now.
Do you feel like with weight training and running and everything, that's when it started to change, or?
To be honest, when I was vegetarian, I'd gotten used to how I felt, and I was constantly hungry. I was constantly grazing. I was never satisfied. But it wasn't a conscious decision to go vegetarian. It was just over time, meat appealed to me less and less, to the point where I just didn't enjoy it, and I would overanalyze it every time I ate it, to the point it was just easier not to eat it anymore. So it was a very gradual change, and meat repelled me for the best part of 10 years, until one day it didn't. And someone had cooked a steak, and it was the first time in 10 years that I looked at a piece of meat and hadn't wanted to throw up, and I actually had a desire to eat it, and I just followed that desire. And it was really interesting because I had to relearn how to eat meat. It was like a texture thing, a taste thing. So I had to put a little bit of effort in to get back to eating it. It felt so bizarre, but I did notice I wasn't hungry anymore, and I was just satiated. Energy levels were better. Much easier to build muscle mass. Yeah, it was just really easy. I didn't have to overthink it. I just went with my intuition on it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think as well, when I personally have been dissecting like yoga from the Eastern world to the Western world, and how it's transitioned, and how there's so much stigma, and there's this stereotype and this almost like performative element that gets packaged and brought over to the Western world, isn't there?
Totally.
Whilst I know like the origins of yoga is India, and majority of that country don't eat meat, I feel like especially in this wave of new age, where these new sort of like polished yoginis are like can't eat meat, can't do this, and can't do all of these things because of the nature of the performative package that has come with yoga these days. But it's a beautiful learning to tap into your intuition and be like, no, I actually need meat now.
Totally.
And to know that actually without that, that's harming ourselves if we don't follow that call, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I do think diets can be helpful for like a particular time period of your life, until perhaps it's not helpful anymore.
Yeah.
So you might thrive on a vegan diet, or a vegetarian diet, or a raw diet, or a carnivore diet for 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but there might come a point where that actually doesn't serve you anymore. So it's learning to recognize those signals and be willing to adapt and change. And that's okay. And actually,
exactly.
That's the thing that I struggled with the most. It was other people's opinions on what I was eating, because people knew me as a vegetarian, and then they would see me eat meat, and they would say, "Oh my gosh, I thought you were vegetarian." And actually, that was the hardest part.
Oh, wild.
And I wasn't expecting that. I found it really confronting. I think you just have to be strong enough in your own understanding of like why you're doing it.
Yeah, and who you are and what your rhythm
And
is.
it is tricky when an element of not eating meat is for ethical reasons. You can feel really conflicted, and I think that's something that you just have to navigate by yourself as best you can.
I definitely felt that conflict when I ate lamb for the first time. As I brought the fork up to my mouth, I literally had a visual of a baby lamb in my mind, and I paused and I was like, oh my God, I felt like this wave of emotion flow through me, because I've gone down many rabbit holes of like the way that they're treated, and you know, they are sentient living beings as well. And what I did in that moment was just acknowledge the fact that this animal, this life, is no longer alive, and the reason why I'm consuming it is for my nutritional reasons, but it's not because I sit above that animal per se. You know, this hierarchy of like humans, quote unquote, being at the top of the food chain. I don't believe that that's true, actually. I feel like we all move in this sort of like coherent loop, and we have come from eating meat, haven't we? So the conflict of that life being more important than mine, or mine being more important with it, was something that I alchemized in that moment, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I did. I
Good.
can't say that I didn't. I was like, whoa.
I think it's really important to have an awareness of where your food is coming from, and having, if you are eating meat or animals, it's like having a reverence for that, acknowledging that it's cost something, its life, for you to be able to satisfy the nutritional needs of your body.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think those things we don't necessarily consider in our consumer society.
Yeah.
We're just like
eat anything,
falling around, consuming
anything,
everything at any cost. And it's not just meat eating, is it? It's like the materials that we use, and like the like things that we pillage from the earth. It's like, where do you stop? Yeah.
That's what I've loved about the commitment that I made through the veganism journey, was that it really taught me about life and my desires, you know, because I wasn't having dairy for the longest time either. I couldn't just walk into a petrol station and pick up a constipation egg sandwich. You know, that type of bread. And it's just like, I'm going to pure constipation from the sandwich. No chocolate bars were available. And, you know, back then as well, there was only soy milk as a substitute, milk substitute. There was no vegan cheese. There wasn't anything like that. So to build my meals from scratch without like the quick fix of like fake meats and stuff as well, it was powerful. You know, didn't wear leather for the best part of 10 years either. Didn't wear wool, didn't wear leopard prints. I didn't wear animal prints either.
That's so interesting.
I know there's a spectrum of like extremities, but I was like, nah, fuck that. This is like pure exploitation. And to some degree, there is a line of truth in that, I think. But actually, it doesn't have to be as serious as that.
Yeah, what I really found is just like the rigidity that I would hold towards my diet was also expressed in other areas of my life, and I found that actually that restriction made for like compulsive behavior. So when I was vegan, I would maybe be out for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I couldn't go anywhere without packing food. I don't need to eat every 2 hours, every 3 hours. I don't need to eat if I'm going on a half an hour walk. But it was like this compulsion to always have food available, because I didn't know when I was going to be able to like eat vegan food again. And I actually found the behavior so much more damaging than the diet, than like eating meat or what have you.
The extremities.
So I realised that actually mentally it didn't serve me. And I think that's been something that's been so powerful since returning to a more like varied, balanced diet where nothing is restricted for me. I just don't have any thought about food. I just eat food and get on with my day. You know, like I try to make good choices, but as soon as it's eaten, I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah,
and
nice.
I think that's so powerful, and I
Yeah.
don't think many people are blessed with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are so neurotic about food, and I think diets like this can really can really like play into that. And it depends like where your mental state is, I suppose.
Yeah.
Maybe people are stronger, and for them that's not like anything that they need to worry about. But I think for a lot of people, it just adds to like food anxieties.
I think like the discipline aspect of like moving through something like that, though, just for me personally, has given me that insight of appreciation and more awareness of what it is I'm actually putting into my body, and how does that affect my histamine levels. I mean, if I eat too much dairy, I might come out in a histamine rash. I have a little bit, but too much, I feel like this big mucus builds up in my body, and just having that deeper sense of awareness of like stripping everything out and then gradually adding everything back in. It's like, well, what works for me, what doesn't, how is my body actually responding to what I'm feeding it, whether food, whether around people, around training, around, like, I just feel like it's given me this amplification of awareness of how, like, what's the pulsating thing happening for me, what feeds that, what lifts that, what drops that, what, do you know what I mean? Without it being too like regimented and like over analyzing everything that I do. It just feels like a natural, like a natural rhythm of awareness. It's powerful.
I think it's such a journey of discovery, and it's one that, like, you know, people should definitely go on. It will teach you so much more than just like than what your body can tolerate.
It's not for the faint-hearted.
No, totally. And I think it just comes back to just building more awareness, like, about what you're eating and what you're wearing and like how you're living. Amazing.
It is, isn't it?
Proud of you, girl.
Yay, thank you, honey. I do actually have Lotus to thank for that, because when she started to walk, I was like, I can't be putting her in plastic shoes. I knew that leather is the best choice of shoe. And when I looked down at my own feet, I had chilblains for years, all through the winter, because I was wearing vegan leather. But the first winter that I wore actual leather, I didn't have that.
That's so interesting, isn't it?
So it just started to build and open up from there, actually.
I started to look at it in terms of like the materials that I would wear. What cost did it have on my environment? And actually, often the synthetic fabrics have the greater cost. Like, leather has cost the life of an animal, and I understand that and I respect that. But that leather item is going to maybe last for a lifetime. So that, for me, that cost was more justifiable than like the cost of synthetic fabrics that wear out so quickly. And that will be different for each person. You know, like, I'm not saying there's any right or wrong way, but we don't have to be so rigid in our beliefs if actually it's not serving us and everything around us.
Exactly.
It's just being flexible, isn't it? Like,
and even with like our energetics, you know, there's studies that show if you wear wool or linen, then your energetic amplification is stronger than if you were to wear like polyester, which sort of cloaks the energetics, and you feel like you're sweating in like a you're sitting in a plastic bag almost, doesn't it? Same with like bedding or pajamas. I've like switched everything into like cotton or linen.
Love that.
Yes,
I love that.
Yes. So yes to the non-veggie vegan pathway.
Totally. And I would just encourage people to like just tune in to whether their diet that they're following, it could be a meat-based diet, is actually serving them. Like, where could they make an adjustment so that it could serve them better? And if you are on a vegan or vegetarian diet and actually you don't feel like you're gaining any health benefit from it, but you feel like you've kind of made this hill that you were prepared to die on, and you feel like you can't really come back from that, actually it's your life, and like, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It's
isn't
like,
it? Exactly. You. Respect either way.
Totally.
And I found with weight training, so I've been like actively, consistently weight training for 2.5 years. About 2.5 years now. And I find with having meat in my diet that my definition, my strength, my energy levels, it just sits at this beautiful, consistent baseline. And that's really the only reason why I switched my diet, was because training in Muay Thai required me to consume more.
Yeah, sure.
More chickpeas, more and my gut was literally like Windy Corner. It was like, I can't do this anymore. So integrating like a bit of egg in, and then a bit of fish, and my weight is consistent, my energy levels are consistent. But before that, the 8 years that I was consuming that, it was fine. It worked for me, you know.
Yeah, totally. And it can work for you until it doesn't.
Yeah.
And just recognizing when that tipping point is.
Love that. So just on the diet front, I just had this image pop up into my mind of you when you were out on your hike.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. You were like,
were you eating some like crispy slices of beef or something like that? Or
yeah, so it was like a beef jerky.
Okay.
So the beef jerky is really high in protein,
right,
but it also doesn't weigh much because it's being dehydrated. So it's like a good snack, and it's like good fats, I suppose. But walking the PCT last year, the Pacific Crest Trail, like totally changed how I viewed food, because although I had a more flexible diet and I was eating meat, I was really concerned with the quality of the food that I was eating. Like, I really cared about eating organic food and like non-artificial food and like non-synthetic stuff. But being in America, where I didn't have a choice on what food was available, I just had to eat to survive. It made me realize that actually you might not thrive on those foods, but you can definitely survive for a period. Whereas I think I was of the belief before that those foods would just kill me. And actually, like, living proof that they can sustain you depending on like what the need is. And actually it's made me even more relaxed about my food choices, which I don't necessarily think has been like a great benefit. Like, I used a microwave for the first time in like 15 years. And I'm like, oh my god, what's happened to me? But because I didn't have it, like, I didn't have a choice.
You're like that, oh fuck, 1 minute.
I'm like, wow, that's really fast.
1 minute,
I understand. So yeah, that's been a whole journey, and actually just constantly like unraveling, like, I guess it's almost like an identity that you create for yourself around the foods that you eat. And it's like, am I still, if I'm not eating like organic food and I'm eating processed inorganic food, like, am I the same person? Does that change my identity? So it's almost like an existential crisis and an identity crisis in one, and coming out the other side and being like, oh, you're still the same person. So that's been so helpful and very transformative.
I guess less rigid. Yeah.
Like, the thing is, when you don't have a choice, you are eating for survival. And I think it makes me understand like our ancestors, where they were also eating for survival, and they were hunting and they were gathering and they were eating what was available. So yeah, like there's so much to say, really.
The microwave thing, hilarious. Yeah, I've not had a microwave for like nearly 15 years. Stand to my EMFs.
I've never had a microwave.
But like you said, it's like you do what you have to do for survival, and isn't it so powerful that we can be presented with these opportunities to deconstruct this narrative of an identity?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is it's the identity aspect, isn't it?
Totally.
And it's just a similar thing with like with yoga and with veganism and with these westernized polished versions of who people think that we would be if we operate in this way. It's like a complete deconstruction, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't think that we can deconstruct a perspective externally unless we like do the work and deconstruct what it is that is it's more of it's like a chain, isn't it? It's a chain to the thing that we do so that the identity can be built. Similar to what I was saying before about not smoking weed for 7 weeks. And I had a conversation with a dear friend recently, and I said to him, I was like, I thought I was going to be one of those forever blazers, you know, like 60-year-old blaze. And he's like, that's because you built an identity around it. And I was like, fuck, you are so right. So just having that little nugget of perspective thrown my way, I was like, has actually helped me in being open to just never connecting with it again.
Oh wow, that's
Isn't
really
it
powerful.
Wild. So let's just talk a little bit about this Pacific Coast Trail.
Pacific Crest Trail.
Is it?
So the Crest Trail is the one that goes up over the mountain tops. If you look at the topography of an American map, you'll see on the west coast that there's just like mountain ranges from California all the way up through Washington.
Wow.
So yeah, that's how I spent 6 months of last year traversing them.
I remember following your stories, and I actually sent out a prayer one night because I was like, fuck, I think the last story you posted was that you were the hitchhiker.
Oh gosh.
I was like, shit, she's not posted for days.
It was very much do or die, and it was really interesting because I was trying to keep people updated, like on socials. Initially post, but then it became stories more often than not because they were fast. But my sister actually didn't watch any part of my journey because she was so frightened for me.
Oh, bless her.
And when I got back, I explained it was like do or die. If I don't take that hitchhike, I'm going to die in the desert anyway. So
fair enough.
It was like, you know, there's a higher chance of me not dying if I take the hitchhike with the stranger or if I stay in a stranger's house.
Fair enough.
And that's what we were faced with.
Did you feel scared at any point though? With the hitchhikers specifically?
No, I think living in the wild and creating like a soul dependency on yourself makes you kind of quite fearless.
Okay.
So when I did have to hitchhike, maybe the first one there was kind of like a apprehension, I would say, more than a fear. But like anything, you have an apprehension about something, you do the thing and you realise that that wasn't really valid. And thankfully my first hitchhike was amazing. It was a couple and they actually took me for lunch. It was really funny. They were trying to marry me off to their sons. Then they dropped me back and it was absolutely fine. We had like a couple of, I don't necessarily know when I say dodgy hitchhikes, but I was happy to like get out of the car or and then there was another instance where someone pulled over to pick us up. We did not have a good feeling about it at all, but really luckily for us, 2 cars pulled over at the same time and we went with the other car.
Wow.
It was actually such a wild experience, but at that point it was kind of like more than halfway through the trip, so like our instincts were pretty strong.
Wow.
And also the Pacific Crest Trail, although you're out in the wilderness, it is a famous trail and it's really popular. You maybe got like 2,000 people that hike it, try and do the full distance each year. There's 50 permits a day which are available to apply for. And not that everyone that has a permit is able to start out on the trail. It's like you are seeing people on the trail. Sometimes I can pass 11 people a day.
Okay.
Other times I might not see someone for 2 days.
Oh wow.
It just depends. You almost get like these little bubbles. When it's high season, you might have like more people on the path. When it's like start of the season or end of the season, like it's a bit more sporadic, I suppose. But there's definitely a lot of people out there. Like if you wanted to be with people, you could. If you wanted to be by yourself, you could, which I really enjoyed.
Being on your own.
I enjoyed having like a lot of alone time, but also being able to like share the experience with other people. And it was safety in numbers as well.
Yeah, of course.
Like you definitely feel safer if you know that someone's camping near you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'd get to a campsite and there might be like 7 other people there.
Oh, wow.
Or sometimes you might be camping alone.
Did you ever camp out in the wilderness completely on your own?
Yeah,
you?
often.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
And you get to a point you're so
What a wild woman.
you get to a point you're so tired and you just don't even set up your tent. You're literally just camped, like you're just sleeping
what about
on the
snakes
floor.
and stuff? Is that a thing or not really?
I mean, it is. You do see a lot of rattlers, which are rattlesnakes, in the desert. Honestly, for me, ignorance is bliss. I would just put my earplugs in and my eye mask on, and I thought, if I'm a goner, like I don't want to know about it. And you're so tired from walking and carrying your bag and like probably feeling dehydrated for most of the time. You just don't care that much. Like the exhaustion is greater than the fear of like what could happen when you're sleeping.
Let's just block out the noise of a rattlesnake.
Yeah, and you know, there's definitely tarantulas and scorpions and that kind of thing, but you're not necessarily aware of them until you hike in the dark at night and you realise that actually you are sharing the desert with all of these like critters. No. But the mountain lions were the thing that scared me the most, because I found out way too much information I really wish I didn't know. This was later on in the trip. But mountain lions, they attack you. They try and attack you from behind, and they go for the jugular. And they will like be sat in trees or like stalking you on the path, and you're not necessarily aware of it. I thankfully didn't see a mountain lion, but you hear of them like really close to camp. You might see someone the next morning that says, "Oh, I saw a mountain lion," and you think, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't see that." But you have to understand that if you're out there in the wild, like you're going into their environment, so you have to like take as much precaution as you can, be as respectful as you can. So there is always obviously that element of risk, but thankfully like that risk is really quite small, I suppose.
Wow. Oh my God, what a trip.
Yeah, it was wild.
Oh my
And then you have a lot of bear activity.
Yeah.
But generally on that trail, it's all black bears, and black bears will generally run off because they're scared. They're not as aggressive as grizzly bears.
Okay.
Where they, in some mountain towns where they've created like a dependency on humans and like human food, they can cause like a lot of trouble. And there was a couple of campsites just north of South Lake Tahoe, which is just the start of, oh gosh, where is South Lake Tahoe? It's in California somewhere. In that town, the bears would like come to the campsite and they would cause a ruckus. They'd be like going through the bins. They're not scared. They won't leave.
Insane.
They'll steal your stuff.
Wow.
There was
just running off with a backpack.
Bears, ripping tents open, stealing bags, taking food. So in certain areas where the bear activity is high, you definitely have to be more cautious.
Wow.
And you have to for like certain parts of the trail, it's a legal requirement that you have to pack your food into what they call a bear canister. I would call it like a glorified heavyweight Tupperware. It's like 1.5 kg without anything in it. It's like really thick walled, and it has this really awkward top on. It's like a Chad lock top, but like a bear lock. And you have to try and stuff all your food in there.
Wow.
And then you would need to like stash that away from your campsite. So if the bear does come, it's not actually coming to the campsite. So that like you're constantly aware, and you're constantly like you're like the way that you're living is, sorry, I'm so distracted.
We're just outside the sauna, by the way, in case you can hear that.
It's so gorgeous.
We have our toes in the sun. Tootsies.
So nice. Yeah, so you're always like you're really aware, and how you behave is like to respect that, I suppose. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. Would you say that any of your lowest moments were caused by like dehydration, lack of food, lack of contact, or just I don't know, like exhaustion, I guess? Because that's got to come with like highs and lows, that kind of
yeah,
experience.
it definitely comes with really, really high highs and low lows. And almost like the further into the walk that you get, the more you start to comprehend how far it actually is. So the full distance of the trail is 2,655 miles. And to me, when I hear that, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Like, it's obviously quite far, but I can't comprehend what that means until I've stepped on the trail and I've walked a mile. Wild. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got 2,654 miles more to go.
Yeah.
And it's like, the more that you hike, the more that you can comprehend what that looks like and what that requires. And the thought of that is really overwhelming. So maybe you're like a third of the way through and it feels like it's taken everything that you've got and you don't have much more to give, but it requires so much more. So it's more that overwhelm and the fatigue. You're just saying, I just don't know if I can do it. I just don't know if I want to do it. It's like anything, it becomes monotonous. You're just doing the same thing over and over again. And I think it's human nature, isn't it? Just to get a little bit bored of like your daily routine.
Same.
Even if that is the thing that you've wished for and you've dreamt about, like just living in the woods off grid, not having any like phone service, not having to go to work, just being able to like, you think just being able to like do what you want and like take the time that you need, but actually you just switch your 9 to 5 or your day job or whatever you want to call it for like a walking job. So it's still a job. It's like I still have to, if I want to get to the end, I have to move every single day and I actually have to walk like a considerable amount of hours. And once you realize that actually like your new job is way harder than your daily life job.
Like, give me back in the 9 to 5 every day.
Literally begging to go back to work.
Take me and lift me out.
So it's that realization as well. It's like, yes, I'm choosing to be here, or like just you have to remember that you are choosing to be there. Like it's a choice. If you want to,
devotion, isn't it?
If you want to go home, you can. And a lot of people don't make it. I think it's like it's like 15% of people, 15-20% a max, that actually make
amazing.
the full
Wow,
journey.
well done, girl.
Yeah, yes. I think it helps being an international traveller. It's not as easy just to get off the trail. For me to go back and finish it requires like a new visa application, like flights, another 6 months of work or what have you. I think when you're local, as in like you live in America, it's much more accessible. It would be easier for you to just like sack it off and come back at another time. When you're an international traveller, you don't really have that luxury, which I think it helps you to stay the course. And I was never not going to finish, come hell or high water. I was going to finish, unless obviously I broke my leg, which when you're out there, you realise that actually there is a really high risk that not only will you break your leg, but you might lose your life or something. It's like, people are getting airlifted all of the time. And
I mean, your fitness levels and like your perseverance to finish has always been super inspiring. I mean, girl, you're the golden welly winner.
Yes.
That time we were down the sauna, I was like, where did your golden welly go?
I know. Thankfully, like that is in my nature, just to persevere and dig in.
Well done.
I'm not a quitter. So I knew I could finish it. And I was fit, like I was in good shape. It's nothing that I couldn't achieve physically. And it was so much more than I expected it to be in terms of like physical exertion. I just honestly couldn't fathom how people were out there that didn't have the fitness levels and the strength that I had and were doing it, because it was really hard.
I can imagine.
It was really humbling.
Even just like even like the mental aspect of it as well. Like you said, you walk 1 mile and you're like, okay, how long have we got left?
I got really good at walking. When I got back, I thought, if there was walking in the Olympics, I'm going for gold.
Golden welly of the Olympics.
I was like, I feel like I could be. I
want that gold welly.
But
that high though when you cross the line, like of like, I've done it.
It
like
was
like crawling.
It was honestly like, it was so worth all of like the hardship. Don't get me wrong, like there was so much joy as well. It's the best experience I've ever had. But like I really had to grind for that finish, as everyone did out there. It's like it's not something that comes easy. Like it really, really tests you. Like completing that was been a while. It was such an ecstatic moment. It was a realization of like accomplishing a dream and knowing that now there's space for a new dream to grow. And also just realizing that I don't have to dream my dreams, I can actually just get out there and live them. And just reinforcing that was just surreal.
What power. It's a pure chills going through me. I just see you expanding, creating that bandwidth and then crossing that line, and something neurologically and physically, mentally, everything happens in that expansion point when we actually do the thing that we say that we're going to do. And it's not an easy thing to do. No. It's like child labour. Yeah. Like, what?
Totally. It was the hardest part. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously, as I've said, it was really challenging. It was way more challenging physically than what I expected. I thought really that I was just going like on an amble through America. I didn't realise that I was going to be traversing like mountain ranges and all that kind of stuff. I think ignorance definitely was bliss. But actually having got to the end now and like looking back over the breadth of the entire journey, not just from when I started on the trail, but when I had that seed of an idea, and it was the sacrifice that I had to make in order to make that dream become a reality. That was a hardship. Yeah. Of like just like quitting my job, quitting relationships, like sacrificing so many things in order for that to happen. And I think that's really where the power is being bold enough to make that sacrifice. And I think like that's the hardest part. Wow. Power. And you know, I appreciate not everyone is in a position that they could necessarily do that. It's like if that is something that you dream of, or whatever your dream is, it's like how can you start to build the steps to make that a reality at some point. I've wanted to do that for as long as I can remember.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah. Do you know my friend Emily Knight?
I've heard of her.
Near Caroline Doyle. Yeah, so Emily is one of Caroline's friends. And I was in Indonesia actually, and Rosie and Hayley were there at the same time, and Emily Knight.
Dream girls, we love you.
Yeah. And we ended up hiking Rinjani Volcano, and Emily and I talked about the Pacific Crest Trail at the time. And Emily went on to hike it maybe a year or two after that trip, and she always said it was the best thing that she'd ever done. And even now, 10 years on, she thinks about it every single day.
Oh wow.
And I'd always wanted to do it as well, but I didn't understand how I was ever going to be able to save that much money to be able to do it. And I just decided that it was something that was really important to me. It was the only regret that I'd have if I was on my deathbed and it's something I hadn't achieved. And I thought, we don't know how much time we have available to us, so I thought I'm gonna do this while I can, whilst I'm able. You never know what's around the corner. And I poured everything into making it happen. And I think that just gives you such confidence that you can curate the life that you want if you're bold enough.
One decision away.
Yeah,
isn't it?
And it was the most expansive, life-changing, transformative thing that I've ever done. And it's just given me a confidence now that there's nothing I can't do.
Amazing.
I can do the things that I say I'm going to do. Like physically I can do hard things, like mentally I can do hard things, like financially I can do hard things.
Everything's always taken care of when you make that decision. That's like the pathway just opens and then you can flow through.
The hardest thing is just committing to an idea and sticking it until the outcome. So
I love that.
It's honestly my biggest dream now that other people will go and hike the Pacific Crest Trail and be transformed as well. Because I honestly don't know that there's many other experiences like it, like just living out in the wild and having to create dependency, having to find your own water, like carry your own food,
Use
like,
microwaves.
Like you have to just become so self-reliant and so self-sufficient. And I think that's really powerful.
Bold. Yeah.
I think there's no way that being out in nature for 24 hours a day for 6 months can't change you.
Yeah. And just also your level of appreciation for the things now that you've come back. You know, you've got access to running water and
oh my god,
food in abundance, and I guess has it changed your appreciation for the things that you have around you?
Yeah, like totally. Even just being able to like regulate your temperature. Like if you're cold, you can put the heating on. If you're hot, you can like cool down. When you're in the desert and it's hot, like there's nowhere to go. You're literally frying under the sun. Like there was one day in the desert where I saw 2 people passed out on the trail, and that was in the early days. That was in like the first 200 miles, and it was so hot. Like every ounce of moisture was just being like sucked
insane
dry, and you realize actually that being in those environments are high risk, and you actually can't fuck around. You learn really quickly like what you have to do in order to like protect yourself. So yeah, it was a real eye opener. And then also being in freezing conditions as well. You're in the
How'd
snow.
you even dress for that? You're Manx girl.
I know. So yeah, just so many life skills that you have to learn, and just trying to find like water from. I'm trying to like fill up a litre of water from like the smallest dribble.
I remember seeing something actually where wasn't there like you saw a dead mouse or something?
Yeah, that was another do or die. It was like maybe I would die from drinking the mouse water. But if I don't drink it, I'm going to die anyway.
Yeah,
so when you're
so
faced with those choices, like they're no brainers. Like
yeah, for sure.
They're not really.
But just to be in an environment where you're given that opportunity, where it's like, well, I'm going to die if I don't, and I potentially might die if I do. It's like, wild.
I'm like, it's a surefire like outcome. I'm going to die if I don't drink it. Like if I do drink it, maybe I'll die. The risk is much lower. So yeah, that's how you're like navigating your whole life.
But you have strong faith. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong. You have strong faith in what is guiding you on this pathway and in this direction. Anyway, we can call it God's Almighty, whatever you want to call it, but you do have that strong faith that something's moving with you, for you anyway, don't you?
Totally. And it's not something that I've always had. It's something that I've really had to cultivate.
Okay.
But I totally trust that things will work out, because I'm living proof that they always have. It's like I back myself so much, it can't not work out.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it's like I've talked about having to create such a self-reliance, and in the same breath you're actually also so reliant on strangers. When you're in the wild, you're generally by yourself, but you have to come back into society in order to go and buy food, and like charge your phone and all of these kinds of things. And when you come in off the trail, you might be in the middle of nowhere, miles from anywhere, and you have to hitchhike. So you're actually not able to complete the hike without depending on other people. You so soon recognize the goodness in others. I think we're so conditioned to kind of see like the corruption or like the evil of others. Actually, when you get out in the real world, you realise that most people are just like
It's the minority of evil, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest blessings from the trip, is just seeing like the goodness and the humility and the like humanity that people had towards me when they didn't know me, and that just makes me want to be that person for others. Yeah. And I think, given like the times that we live in and like the political divide that we're seeing all around us, or like the propaganda of that, really, it's not necessarily true in my experience. You know, especially in America, people were saying like, can't believe you're traveling to America at a time like this, and you know, it is definitely a politically divided country. and there's so much goodness.
Oh yeah. But I guess that is also part of the agenda, is to keep people away and to, like you said, divide and instill fear into people to not go and live and experience and do the thing that their heart is desiring to do, isn't it? It's all part of it.
When you're in the nature, you realize really quickly what's true and what's not. And political agendas have no place in the wild.
Yeah, fuck you.
See ya. And that is just so liberating to exist outside of that.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any interest anyway, you know me, it's like, it's not something that I would spend an ounce of my energy on. But
entertaining main stage.
Yeah, you don't have any phone service. Like some places you do, but you're like on the top of a mountain, maybe getting like one bar or something. Generally you don't have the battery or the phone service to engage, like even if you would want to. So I definitely recommend, if people are feeling like divided or like conflicted or kind of like at a loss with the world, the current state of the world, just go and hike the Pacific Crest Trail. It's honestly just such a balm for the soul. It's such a tonic, and I really just want to see like everyone going up there. And
why don't we get a bunch of Manxies out there?
Do you know what
Fly the flag.
Do you know what I actually thought I would love to do is, you can section hike it. You meet a lot of people that just do a section at a time. They come back each year and do like a certain part of the trail. And some of the more beautiful sections as well, maybe they're like 400-mile sections, you could do it over 2 weeks. I was thinking like it would be so nice to take a group of women and guys, whoever, from the Isle of Man that don't feel confident enough to do it by themselves, but would love that experience of being with other people and taking groups out to show them like what's there.
So if you're interested, drop us a DM.
Like, oh my god, they're like just the expansiveness and just the sheer beauty, like the magnificence of like some of the trail is honestly that like just changes the chemistry of your body as well, seeing things like that.
I mean, there's just also something to be said about traveling solo anyway, you know. Even
totally. It's very empowering,
isn't it? It's amazing.
I kind of hate that word, but
but it is though, isn't it? It is. It's like, whoa, I'm gonna go do the thing that there are a lot of people that are too scared to do, and it's as if like potentially that we have the courage to be able to step forth into that, to stream back the code of like, it's okay, you can do it.
I love that, like,
isn't it?
Being able to see the living proof of someone that you know
has done it.
Totally. It almost just it dissolves maybe like a boundary that you've unknowingly like placed in front of something like that. I don't know
your own limitation,
right,
isn't
like
it?
a limitation.
Yeah.
And actually, when you see someone else do it, you think, oh, actually, maybe
I can do it too.
And when you look at like world record holders, like someone breaks a record, and then there's like this new potential of possibility that's available, and that's why the record continues to be broken. It's like it's just this constant like leveling up. Which I just find so fascinating. So hopefully people feel encouraged to go and do that or something similar.
Yeah, even Snaefell.
Amen. Amen.
Let's start with Snaefell if you're feeling a little wobbly about that.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I love that. Okay, let's wrap it up then.
Yeah, so good.
Thank you so much for joining me today and for this beautiful broadcast. And I hope that anyone listening to this receives some insight and a dissolving of fear to step forth and to just own what it is that you feel that your calling is. It just doesn't have to make sense to anybody.
No,
literally nobody. And maybe it doesn't make sense to you initially, but you know, when you feel that curiosity call and you follow it, like what you were saying about being on your deathbeds, I don't believe there's going to be any point of when we're on our deathbeds that we regret doing the bold thing, saying the bold thing, moving in the bold way, or not bold way, like whatever it is that you feel called to move with. If we don't do that, And I do feel like deathbed regrets are going to be the thing. So step forth, guys and gals.
Yeah.
Take the reins and just move in a way that feels good for you. Isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's so easy to think that life is gonna come and tap you on the shoulder and offer itself to you, but actually you have to go out there and take it.
Yeah.
And I've really realised that I have to curate the life that I want to live. No one is going to come and hand it to me. And that requires me to do really uncomfortable things.
Yeah.
The more that you do them, the more comfortable it feels to choose the uncomfortable thing, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
There's always going to be a tension and a discomfort. But the more you do uncomfortable things, the more confidence that you have in yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
That you can overcome them.
And I think like the way that New Age spirituality is conditioning the believers of New Age spirituality is that you just sit and you make manifest and you do your vision board and you don't actually step forth and do the thing.
You still have to.
It's a site. I just see that as a site, but that's a different subject.
No, you have to.
You have to step forth into it. Yeah, definitely.
Totally. Yeah, you have to take that first step. Literally.
So, where can everybody find you, gorgeous girl? Are you still teaching? Are you doing stretch and mobility stuff now? You're not actually teaching yoga per se,
I don't teach yoga per se. I would say that I teach more like functional stretching practices.
Nice.
They have a spiritual element because we're spiritual beings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Everything we do, cut the grass, brush our hair.
I just find that they're more functional for everyday movement and how I want to live.
Beautiful.
So yeah, people are always welcome Tuesday evening at the yoga therapy room studio in Peel, where I previously had my studio. It's changed ownership now, but I still teach there Tuesday 6:15 and Friday morning at 9:30. I'm also available on Instagram, Sian Coleman _. And if anyone has any questions, I would love to hear them. Or if you feel like you just need like a little pep talk to like find the confidence to do the thing, I'm your girl.
She's your girl. She's your girl.
Yeah.
And I'll also put your handle and the studio link.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Amazing.
In the description too.
Fab. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Love to see you.
Peace out.
That's love.
Bye bye.